Hello everyone and welcome to episode 25 of the Dragon Radar podcast. We are your hosts, Heeroh and Ajoten. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well. Ready for a 25th discussion.
25th anniversary. Let's do it and let's get started with Roshi's rant.
Cool.
This is Roshi's Rant.
This is Roshi's Rant, the first segment of the podcast where we deep dive into a particular topic regarding Dragon Ball. And this week, we're talking about what would happen if the Tournament of Power came back around. And yeah, we had the Tournament of Power 2, I guess. Because after the superhero film, you know, there's been a few new transformations and a few new characters introduced, and as well as the Broly film as well. Broly's around as well. So a lot could happen. There'll be a lot of team changes, a lot of big fights, and yeah, it'll be interesting. So I guess best way to start this is let's talk about the team, because the team would change up. You know, like yeah, we're not going to be seeing Tien and Master Roshi in here anymore. Like, there's a lot of new big characters that could be involved.
I think the big thing to be addressed first is, do you really think Broly should be in this team?
Yeah, why not?
I think it's a terrible idea.
Oh, why? Because he's just going to rampage everyone?
Yeah. So, like, you've got Kill, isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah.
And she just went absolutely berserk. She had no control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She was hitting anybody and anything. Yeah. Okay. Now, she only, through the power of plot armor, managed to control herself, and the power of sisterhood, managed to control it and work with Caulifla. Yeah?
Yeah.
Broly doesn't have some magical brother to work with. Broly's going to get angrier and angrier. And the last time he got angry and angry, what did he do?
Try to kill everyone.
He battered Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza. Our three strongest at the time, our three strongest fighters.
I think that's the thing, though, because even if that happened, which, to be honest, I feel like that wouldn't happen. We have seen from Superhero, he is in training to control his rage. Obviously, he hasn't mastered it yet, and I do think he will be angry. But
he had to stop training.
Yeah.
Goku said, "You're not allowed to fight because you can't control yourself."
Yeah. But even if he did get angry, which is fine and probably would happen if a tournament was to happen right now, straight after the events of Superhero, I think that's kind of fine. The only issue, even if he started beating up everyone on his team as well, and even if he started eliminating people in his team as well, he would still be in. The only issue I see is if he accidentally kills someone, because then he would be eliminated as well.
And there's nothing to say that he wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So he could immediately turn around. He gets angry. The closest person he's probably going to be to is Goku and Vegeta when he gets angry, because he's on their team. So, and it's a very small ring. Yeah. He's not going to care about to be honest, he's probably going to grab Goku and Vegeta and jump out the ring.
Potentially.
The thing is, he has zero control. He has zero thought process. There is zero reasoning. He could do one thing that could screw everything. There is no reason. I mean, basically, without Ultra Instinct Goku, Universe 6 would have lost. Yeah?
Yeah, probably.
So let's say that Broly basically grabbed Goku and just went proper angry, like when he grabbed his head and dragged it across the side of the cliff. Except he decided to do that against the stands where the Gods of Destruction were sitting. That's them both eliminated, and no more Ultra Instinct Goku, and Jiren wins.
Is it that simple, though?
Yeah, it's as simple as that.
Even with Gohan and Piccolo still being there with their new forms?
But the thing is, that's a huge risk to take.
It is.
Isn't it?
I think it could also be a tactic, though. because I think
a tactic.
yeah, I know. I think at least for the start of the fight, we would probably see Broly be able to contain his rage a bit. And, he might pick up 1 or 2 eliminations before he gets full-blown anger style. And even then, it could be a tactic where it's just like, right, we know you're going to get angry at some point. When that happens, as a team, we just need to move. And then,
Run away!
yeah, honestly, that could be a solid tactic, because if the team members are hiding or out of sight, he's not going to target them, especially when there's so many people around. He's going to go for the nearest and easiest people to hit, and he's going to start hitting them. And if the team just spreads out, separates, backs away from him, keeps out of the space, he'll probably eliminate a few people before anyone even gets, anyone from his team gets anywhere near him. And even then, it could be a tactic like, right, we'll use him until we eliminate some big people, and then it's like, okay, we need to work together as a team to either calm him down or eliminate him ourselves, because he's going to put us at risk otherwise.
I'm also going to raise something controversial here, because one of the things that is fought over, similar to the whole Vegeta-Gogeta argument on the internet, is the Jiren Broly argument.
Yeah.
So in the superhero movie, there was Vegeta was saying that one of the reasons Jiren was so good is the fact that he was a tactical fighter.
Yeah.
And so the reason he was meditating is because he was making not tactical mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So if Broly's just randomly swinging and Jiren's fighting smart,
oh yeah, Jiren could easily beat him in a fight. I see the argument of Broly versus Jiren, and strength-wise, yeah, maybe they're similar, but in a fight, no, Jiren would win easy, just because Broly can't control himself.
So basically, if that is the case, they could just, if they get out of Broly's way, Jiren could just go straight for him and immediately eliminate him.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, and then it's kind of so you could just be the case of, you run the risk of Broly accidentally eliminating somebody on your team,
mm-hmm.
or him being a wasted place because basically you let him run riot. He maybe eliminates a couple of useless people who Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, all these super duper fighters you've now got could have done anyway, but Jiren's immediately got rid of Broly anyway. Because you've had to leave him alone to do his thing.
Would Jiren
waste a place where you could have probably put Roshi in there?
Maybe. But would Jiren go straight for Broly as he starts getting angry? We've seen all throughout the Tournament of Power that Jiren held back until he needed to fight. If he sees Broly going on a rampage, he's not going to step in. He's going to let him take out as many people as he wants until he gets close to Jiren, and then Jiren will jump up.
Well, no, he did that with Kale. He did exactly that. As soon as Kale started berserking, he just was like, Kale, stop it now. And he literally put her down. Yeah. He was like, you need to chill. He picked her up and blasted her.
Maybe he would do the same thing, but also, if the team isn't focused on Broly and trying to stay away from him, I'm sure Goku or Vegeta or someone else could hold off Jiren momentarily.
Because I think the thing is, the other universes aren't going to scale very well.
No.
Obviously, some of the, you're not going to have Basil and everyone like that doing particularly well. However, I think people like Jiren and Top are going to be very strong if round 2 was to come round. And I think you're going to find that if as of now, you were to step back into the ring, into the tournament, I think people like Top and Jiren would step up and they'd be just as strong as some of our fighters.
What if they changed the rules and just said, okay, this time you can kill people? Then I honestly think Hit could be MVP, most eliminations. He's a universal assassin. He could easily kill a lot of people in there.
Oh, yeah, but I don't, on someone like Jiren, I don't know if he could kill Jiren.
No, maybe not Jiren, but I think he could take out maybe half of the main team.
He could take out. He could take out a lot of Universe 6.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I could see if that rule was gone and you could kill people, I could see it lasting until near the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because that was the whole thing, he was holding back. And we haven't ever seen hit at full strength because he was never allowed to kill anyone. And because of that, he couldn't go all out.
Goku's not Universe 6 and hits Universe 7, isn't it? That's the right way around, isn't it?
Other way around.
Is it the other way around? Am I getting mixed up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the other way around, sorry, yeah.
I
always get the two mixed up. Yeah. No, I can definitely see him taking out probably half of the team at least.
Well, let's talk about the team for a minute because we haven't even mentioned the full team.
The old team easily.
Yeah, so out of the people who I think would still be in the team, so there's a team of 10. The people who are still in the team, who are in the original team, I think we've got Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, and maybe Android 17.
Right.
And that's it. 5 of the original team.
Disagree, but okay.
Yeah. Only Android 17.
Okay, right, okay.
Android 17, just because he was the one who lasted until the end, he did get the finishing blow. He got the win for the team, and I think when I made my list of 10, I got the first 9, and I thought, okay, yeah, Android 17 can probably take that last spot. So those are the 5 that I've got who survive.
So I agree with those 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then
those top tier, because 17's at least demonstrated that he's Super Saiyan Blue level, so he's very strong.
Yeah. Those are the first 5 who survive, who are still in the team. The new 5 members, I've got Broly, Gamma 1, Goten, Trunks, Majin Buu.
Definitely not Goten and Trunks. Definitely not.
Really, though?
No. They have nowhere demonstrated they're strong enough to.
Let's think of it this way, though. They are Saiyans.
If you're gonna go down the fusion route.
No, not even the fusion route. No, it's simply because they are Saiyans. Well, half Saiyans. They're still Saiyans, though. They're strong.
Yeah.
They're probably stronger than Tien, Master Roshi, Krillin. Okay. And just because of that, there is no reason for Goku to suggest bringing Frieza back again. There's no reason for Goku to suggest bringing back any other villain again. So I don't think they will. I don't think they would invite Frieza back. I don't think they would try and revive Cell or anyone else.
I suppose, yeah. I suppose, I'll be honest, I had Frieza in the team. However, I'll be honest, I forgot from a lore standpoint that we wouldn't be using, it would be around 2. So I didn't consider it from a lore standpoint that, we would need to take out Frieza.
Yeah. Because they wouldn't bring him back when they've got so many strong.
He would also have no reason to come back.
Yeah, exactly. He's already been brought back to life. He wouldn't want to join again, even if the universe was at risk. Like, he wouldn't really care. He would either try and join another universe or just say no.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with the Buu pick because Buu is
one of the strongest
arguably
fighters.
One of the strongest in the universe.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when he's fully trained.
Mm-hmm. And I really want to see buff Buu, like in shape Buu, go into a fight. That would be incredible.
He massively surprised Goku with how strong he was when he's fully trained.
Mm-hmm.
He can fully regenerate.
Mm-hmm.
He's incredibly strong.
And his abilities are insane.
Don't be sleeping on Buu.
No, not at all.
Like he was very strong in the preliminary tournament, and that was when he was Fat Buu.
Yeah.
Like he really flexed on. I think, which one did he fight? He didn't fight Basil.
It was Lavender, I think.
Yeah, he fought Lavender because Gohan fought Basil. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Goku fought Bergamo. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he absolutely flexed. And that was Fat Buu.
Yeah.
So when he became
Fit
Strong Buu, he absolutely he he really pushed Goku, but then he fell asleep. So if he's awake, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. He could easily end up MVP.
Yeah, he could, definitely, because his abilities as well, especially if he can kill people, he would turn half of everyone involved into chocolate to begin with, and they're either just being eaten and that's them gone, or he's just going to turn them into chocolate and just throw them out of the ring, and they can't do a single thing about it. Yeah.
Gamma, definitely Gamma 1, because they've demonstrated that now they're good guys. He's a good guy as of the end of Superhero. Heeroh said that he can make an army of Gammas because that's what he wanted to do. He didn't want to make he didn't want to make Max Cell. He wanted to just keep making lots of Gammas. So I think it's a fair assumption to say that there's going to be a Gamma 2. I think it would be
I think we'll bring it
I
back.
think it would be strange if they didn't have another Gamma 2. I think they're kind of a two peas in a pod. So I think we're going to have two Gammas.
I didn't add him just because he hasn't done it yet, and we don't know if he actually will or not. So I thought, I can't put in a team member who isn't technically around.
Fair. My worry with Goten and Trunks is they weren't particularly strong last we saw them. They were very weak. They were just kids. Yeah. They lived in a time of peace afterwards. And they obviously haven't been fighting or training, because when Max Cell came and they tried to fuse, they became fat Gotenks. So they obviously haven't been training in any way, shape, or form. So they've been lax.
Essentially.
So I think it's a fair estimation.
So was Gohan, though. And then he trained a little while to get back up to fighting shape.
Yeah, but Gohan has the cheat codes.
It's true, but who would you have instead of Goten and Trunks? Because there's not really many others.
It's
true. like Krillin isn't as strong as them. Tien probably isn't as strong as them. Master Roshi definitely isn't as strong as them. There's Android 18, maybe.
I would say 18's probably a better bet than Goten or Trunks. She has unlimited power reserves. They're kids that haven't fought since they were little kids. There's no indication that they've been training since. Obviously, they still can't fuse. It would be a huge risk to
They teased it at the very end of the film. They did the fusion dance again and fused. We just didn't see the result. But I think everyone is assuming it is actual Gotenks, not fat Gotenks.
Yeah. So I would say her unlimited power reserves would probably be better used. I mean, we're sleeping on Krillin, but he has experience in tournaments previously, in a tournament setting.
Wasn't he the first one eliminated, though, for the team?
He let his guard down. I'll give him that. Yeah. But at the same time, again, these are inexperienced kids who, again, are very out of shape. So who's to say they're going to do any better?
Potentially. It depends on strength alone, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that's a tough one.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But if you were to replace one with 18, who would you replace the other one with?
So just check the numbers. So we've got Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, 17. Boo is 6.
Yeah. Gamma 1.
Gamma is 7.
Broly.
Yeah. I don't know if I want Broly, mate. I don't trust the Broly choice. Do you really think Broly's a choice?
Yeah, I think he has to be. I think he does. No matter what, if the universe is at stake, even if he does get rabid, they're still going to bring probably arguably their strongest fighter. They just will. Why wouldn't they?
I think it's just too big a risk.
I think they would have no choice. They would rather him instead of Frieza.
I just think you're just bringing a ticking time bomb. That's the thing.
Yeah, you are. And like I said earlier, I agree, but I think they would strategize around that.
I remember the strategies last time. They didn't particularly pay off very well. Like Gohan team captain, and then they just all literally just walked off in different directions.
Broly's a bit of a different beast though, because he's part of your own team, and you know he's going to explode at some point.
I think they would literally just have to just say, Broly, go get him. Just literally just rabid dog, and then just hide and take cover and hope for the best.
We know that Broly can still listen when he's enraged, because Frieza said, "Look, Broly," and then Paragus was dead, and he looked over and seen him, and then that enraged him even more. So no, he can listen, and he has done a tiny bit of training on the Beerus planet, trying to control that rage. So he definitely won't have mastered it, and he will fully rage. But I think he has the ability to listen and maybe calm down slightly.
I think it would depend solely on whether or not you could kill and how far along his training has come. Because literally Goku was just like, just stop. You need to stop fighting. You're getting in my way.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad when Goku's like getting annoyed at you and just like, you're getting in the way of me training. I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah. All right. Well, in that case, who are your final two members then to join the team?
Okay, I'll play ball. We'll go with Broly.
Right.
I'll play ball. So we need one more then, yeah? If we're accepting Broly.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd have to choose Krillin or Roshi over Goten or Trunks,
Oof.
I just think that'd be a better choice.
I don't think Roshi would go because he's too old. I mean, he is still a good fighter, but I think you would probably give the spot to Krillin, if anyone.
Yeah. I just think that, it would probably be Krillin over Roshi after his scare last time. But I just think, the kids are Super Saiyans, but like they're inexperienced. They haven't fought in a long time. They're not trained. Gohan isn't trained either. However, he is still a lot more experience. He has innate power, which he's demonstrated recently. We've seen what he can do when he seems to have this ability to train and become very strong very quickly. He seems to be able to awaken it. That has been demonstrated. They haven't demonstrated that. They have been out of the game for a long time. I just don't see how they would be effective fighters for the most part, whereas Krillin has at least some tournament experience. I think sleeping on Krillin would be a bit much, maybe. I don't know.
Krillin, if he was in the team, would definitely be the weak link by far.
He would be the weakest link. But I also think Goten or Trunks might be.
Because we know that you can fuse during the tournament because Kale and Caulifla did it. So, their fusion lasts 30 minutes. The tournament power lasts, 42, I think?
Yeah.
So, they can fuse for the majority of the tournament. Like, straight off the bat, they could go fusion, pa, and then they're fused for the majority of the tournament.
I suppose you could run the risk. You could run the risk of dropping 18 and Krillin and just do the fusion. But again, you run the risk of losing 2 for 1.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think Gotenks, especially if they fuse correctly, which let's say they do, I think Gotenks is a lot stronger than 18 and Krillin, definitely.
Yeah.
And it is definitely worth having Gotenks over them in a fight.
I think they would literally have to spend the entire time from when the tournament is announced. All they would be allowed to do is practice the fusion. Like literally, like no sleep or anything like that. Fusion dance from morning till dusk.
Yeah, because let's say they did fusion right at the start, straight away. First thing they do, fusion. They're done. They've transformed. Even after half an hour, 3/4 of the fight is done pretty much at that point. There's not that many people left in the tournament. And when they unfuse, I think the two of them are still better because I don't think Krillin would last that long. 18 maybe, but either way, having two people around instead of one is still a better choice, even if they're not as fight prepared.
Yeah, I suppose you could consider the risk. I think, yeah, I suppose. I mean, I think it just depends if you're willing to run the risk of fat Gotenks. I suppose that's the biggest thing.
But that's the thing. I think they will practice though, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, because it's like, because a lot of people have asked the question previously. I mean, I've seen on the internet a lot of why, when Goku and Vegeta were struggling against Jiren, didn't they just fuse? And it's just like, well, like again, like even if they did successfully fuse, if Jiren eliminated them, then they're both out. And that's the biggest risk you run with fusion is it's a 2-for-1 elimination. And I think Jiren would absolutely annihilate Gotenks.
Potentially, but I don't think it would get to that point. I think before those two even lock horns, Gotenks would have done some damage to other universes, eliminate a few people.
I think he would have to steer well clear of someone like that. Because... But the thing is about Gotenks is that's not his mentality. You'd have to hope that older Gotenks would have... Listen. Yeah. But the thing is, I would have liked to have heard a little bit more from them, but they literally turned up in the last 5 minutes of the film. You didn't really hear them talk. Did they even have any voice lines? Really?
Yeah, they had voice lines. They were talking and that.
Like other than little like sprucey bits, like we didn't really get any exposition from them, though, did we?
Not really, not too much.
That's what I mean. Like we didn't get any exposition voice lines other than just like fighty stuff.
Yeah,
which is a shame. Would have been nice. But I think there was so much happening in the film that you couldn't really expect it, could you?
Yeah. The only people who I expect to be a threat throughout all of this is Jiren, Top, because I think Top would have became more involved with his God of Destruction side, and I think he'll be more of a threat second time round.
Oh, yeah.
Hit. Potentially Kabak Kale Caulifla, because if they've been training, they'll be stronger as well. Yeah. And also, I have a sneaking suspicion that the universe with all of the robots, I think they have a chance just to be like, okay, we lost pretty bad. We're making some new fighters here. And they just build Ultimate Fighters. And they're a lot stronger. I don't even...
They made that giant robot, didn't they? Yeah. And that actually gave them a lot of bother.
Yeah, because I think they'll just be like, all right, individually, we weren't too great. We're going to make some upgrades to everyone, or just build new fighters completely.
Yeah.
Because that's their whole thing. They're robots, they create things. So they're going to either create new weapons or upgrades to the existing robots to make them stronger and faster and all that stuff. Or they're just going to build better fighters.
Yeah. I think be a threat. What they'd write in is they'd somehow make Ribrianne people stronger. Yeah. I don't really know how they get much stronger, but I think they do it from just so they would be other stronger people, because they'd have to. But from a law perspective, to me, it would make sense that people like Jiren and Top would be stronger because the story makes sense that they would get stronger. Like Top is obviously following a path. That's why so many people think he should have been the main bad guy.
Yeah.
Because, well, the main antagonist. Because it made sense. He was becoming a god of destruction. Jiren didn't really have a decent story. Top did. He was always there from the get-go. He was there the preliminary tournament and everything. He was always in the background. He was always like, that's why everyone thinks it would have been a good idea for him. Or maybe not everyone, but a lot of people thought it would have been good.
Yeah. Apart from that, though, I don't really see too many other threats. Maybe Frost. If Frost decides, you know what, I've seen Frieza, he's pretty strong, I'm going to train a little bit. And maybe Frost learns a new form, potentially. But apart from that, no one else really stands out. Apart from, to me, I can't remember his name, but that guy who basically just looked like a superhero. He had the logo on his chest and he could switch his forms. So he had the really fast form, the really strong form, and then like I forgot what it was, like the ultimate form where he was like best at everything.
Yeah.
I think if he just, went straight into his ultimate form And was like, why did I waste time going just powerful or just fast? Why didn't I just stay ultimate the whole time?
Imagine he just like knocks somebody out straight away, knocks 17 out immediately. What just happened?
Yeah. This could be a reason for Krillin to be in there, because I think that would be interesting. Just right at the start, someone unexpected just boots out a main member of the team, down a member straight away. They're like, oh, okay.
First person out. It's like, dear.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting. But
no, I suppose, yeah, I think if you're going to risk it, and you're willing to risk the fusion, then yes, Goten and Trunks would be acceptable. I'm still not convinced on the Broly card. I think it's a huge risk.
I think they would take him. I think they wouldn't have a choice.
I think it would depend on how desperate they felt. But I do think people sleep on Boo.
Yeah, 100%. Boo would be one of the best people in there. He might even make it at the end. He might just survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just blow up the entire ring and that, and just have him just floating at the end, just like.
Is that technically flying? You're not allowed to fly, although
floating.
they did so much in the tournament anyway.
Yeah, so much floating. Floating. They weren't flying, they were floating.
Yeah, or just hitting each other so strong that they go up into the air. Yeah, but I think overall, the main guys, Big Bad Universe 7, they would have no trouble. I think they would still pick up the win.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, because of I nearly said Orange Gohan there, because of Fanta Orange
Gohan.
Yeah, I think whilst they were, I think we said like the universe was said to be one of the weakest universes. There's no way that could possibly be true now.
No.
Orange Piccolo and Beast Mode Gohan, or Sun Gohan Beast, or whatever he's called.
Yeah.
Gohan, they've just skyrocketed the power available to the universe, and I just think that now we have so many Jiren level fighters that, like, Vegeta has improved his martial form. So even if his power level hasn't particularly increased, he's now training his ability to fight, where his ability to fight has increased.
And Goku's better at Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, he's tapping into Ultra Instinct. Gohan is obviously ramping up. If he knew that the tournament's coming up, he's going to magically train and become a super fighter again. Piccolo is obviously, he's going to always be training, so he's going to be able to tap into Orange Piccolo at will. I think it's going to be reasonable going forward that he is always going to be able to tap into that. I think we have such a power ramp now that there's no way it can be considered one of the weaker universes.
Yeah, Gamma 1 in there as well.
So much easier.
Yeah, like Gamma's going to do some damage by
He's
himself.
At least ultimate. At least ultimate form Gohan.
Yeah, even without his blaster, which I know was a big part of his arsenal especially, was his blaster, which he wouldn't be allowed to take in there because that's a weapon, I guess. Yeah. But even without that, his hand-to-hand combat was fine to take on Gohan for a period of time. So he would still be fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was an animal. I mean, he was definitely. I mean, Gamma 2 had an attack when his final attack before he, when he attacked Max Cell, that had nothing. That was an energy attack. I feel relatively confident. I mean, yes, it did kill him, but that was an energy attack that he had access to. So obviously they do have access to energy attacks without the blasters.
Yeah.
So he must have something in background. I mean, he is an android, so surely they don't just have blasters.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, he has got obviously the ability to fight and keep up with pretty much Ultimate Form Gohan nigh on. So I think he'd do very well by himself. I think definitely a choice for the team, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, we've been talking about this a lot, and I think we've made compelling arguments for why people should or shouldn't be in the team. And I've got a feeling a lot of people will be salty with the fact that I straight away said no Frieza. but I don't think he would be picked.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm curious to know what people's opinions are on this. So leave comments if you agree or disagree with our picks, and that would be great. But yeah, we're going to move on now to the Hall of Fame.
Let's go.
And now it is time for the Hall of Fame.
And now it's time once again to enter the Hall of Fame, where
Woohoo.
myself and Heeroh battle it out to see who is most worthy for this week's Hall of Fame. Last week, it was the best transformation sequence, with myself choosing Goku turning Ultra Instinct for the first time, and Heeroh, you chose Second Form Cell turning into Perfect Cell. Have you got the results?
I do have the results, and the winner with 85% of the vote is UI Goku. So you get another win, and you have equaled the streak, the 6th streak. You have 6 in a row wins now. It's weird.
So much.
Yeah, because the first, what is it, like, however many episodes, 15 episodes or so, we were going back and forth, you know, a win here and there. I think we maybe had a 2 streak at one point, and that was it. And then after that, I went on a 6 streak, and then it ended, and from there, you've now been on a 6 streak. And it's like, how'd that happen?
So, 1 for 7 now, mate.
Yeah, I need to end it because I liked having that record, and now we're equal, so I don't even have that anymore. But I don't want to give it to you. I don't want you to have the new record, so I need to end it this week.
I think this one's going to be an interesting one, though, because
there's no real advantage this week.
Yeah, because this topic is going to be I don't think there's an obvious one. There's not going to be a standout because there's not going to be any favoritism or anything like this, because this is very much going to be an opinion, because this week's topic is the most disappointing moment in the superhero movie.
Yeah, so since you won last week, you got to go first. So what is your pick?
So mine relates to the 2 young chaps, and that is Goten and Trunks.
Interesting. Okay.
So we saw them in all the build-up, and all the material and everything like that, and we thought, oh, we've got Team Goten, we've got Team Trunks, and they're turning up, and it's, we're going to get Gotenks, Team Gotenks, great. And then they turn up, and it's time. It's finally time, and they fuse, and they screw it up, and we get fat Gotenks.
Because it's so hilarious. Were you not happy to see fat Gotenks?
This is our one shot. This was our one shot to get Team Gotenks. It would have been so cool. It would have been awesome. And for comic relief, we get fat Gotenks instead. And I'm sorry, but that is just so disappointing to me. It could have been such an awesome moment. We would have had this. We would have had the new Gohan, the new Piccolo, this wicked new Team Gotenks transformation. There would have just been 3 new amazing things. I think the internet would have went wild to see Team Gotenks. I think it would have been really cool. And it's just this daft. I don't get why they chose that route. It's such a dumb route to take, and instead they just decided for the sake of odd comic relief. Like, it would have looked so cool because they themselves, like the animation choices they made for like the models they chose for Team Goten and Trunks, they looked really good. I thought they looked great. And I just thought what they could have made with that, and then even worse, at the end of the film, they teased us with the correct fusion and didn't show us what it looked like.
Yeah.
So it's even worse, and I think that's so disappointing. And they'll be like, haha, yeah, we teased you, and it's like, no, that's just annoying.
Yeah.
Like, you don't give us it in the film, you screw us over by not showing us, you give us fat version, and then you think it's cool to show us that at the end, and no, that's not. No, that's just annoying. Like, should have given true Team Gotenks. That's what we wanted, and you didn't give us it, and that sucks.
Yeah, I can understand why they did it though, because let's face it, if they did successfully transform into Gotenks during the fight. Gotenks would have taken away a lot of steam from Gohan and Piccolo because Gotenks would be extremely strong. Maybe on level with at least Piccolo, potentially. I don't know, it is Gotenks. Gotenks is extremely strong. So, having him be Fat Gotenks made sense because he wasn't allowed to do damage, really.
But would he? They haven't been training. He wouldn't have been particular. They haven't been training. They wouldn't have been particularly stronger than they were in the Boo. Is there any indication they would have been stronger than they would have in the Boo saga?
I think even in the Boo saga, they were kids and they didn't really train, and they were still stronger than everyone.
Oh,
Stronger than Vegeta, stronger than Goku, stronger than everyone when they fused and actually fought Boo. So
yeah, but Piccolo is as strong as, like, at least, obviously this is a huge argument on the internet and everything like that, but I think we can
he's a
Piccolo
good
and
partner.
everybody's up in Super Saiyan Blue areas and everything like that, at least. Yeah, he's very, very high. We can agree. He's very, very high. He's top tier now. Gotenks was never that high.
He wasn't.
He was never God. He was never God tier.
No.
So he would never have been enough to reach max cell. He would have just been doing damage. He could have cracked his head still.
You can't go Super Saiyan 3, you've got to remember that.
Yeah.
That
I think
form.
the thing is, Goku could have went Super Saiyan. Let's look at it this way. Gotenks went up against Beerus, and literally got spanked. In Super Saiyan 3, he got spanked by Beerus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've got Orange Piccolo and everybody like that and you've got Super Saiyan Blue and everybody who's fighting, and people are starting to get into arguments now about whether or not Goku and that can go up against Beerus. And I know there are arguments about saying like Beerus is way stronger and everything, but at least the argument's starting to become semi-serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, if Gotenks is literally getting spanked, he's not going to have been doing anything against people like Max Cell. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would have just been enough to see, I think.
Yeah, I get it. And I kind of agree, but also, I do feel like it might have taken away the focus from Gohan and Piccolo a bit, especially since both of them just got new forms. And then for Gotenks to come in, like, oh my god, Gotenks is here, Team Gotenks, kind of takes it away a bit from a new form from Piccolo, which has never happened, and Gohan also got a new form when he's a fan favorite character. So I'm not so disappointed in that. Especially one other thing, which I guess for the general public who watched the film, who didn't look at spoilers beforehand and stuff, they wouldn't have known, but the image of Fat Gotenks was leaked before the film was released, and because of this, there was almost the expectation, like, yes, he is definitely in the film. They say, maybe that's all we're getting anyway, so okay.
Yeah. I just think to me it's just disappointing. I think they had an opportunity and it was just wasted. They did a lot of good things for us. They turned around, like, this film, they did a lot right.
Yeah.
They did so many things. Like they even got Pan right.
Yeah.
I had such an expectation for them to just screw up Pan again. Like, again, we've not watched a great deal of GT, but Pan is one of the reasons I have no interest in GT. Not no interest, just she is one of the reasons I'm put off GT, because every clip I see of Pan in GT makes me want to cry. She's just she seems to be very badly written. Whereas in Superhero, I found her quite engaging. And I think that's very good that they seem to have turned her around. So they've done so much right. Obviously, they've given the new transformations and they're great, apart from Gohan's hair. And I just think that Fat Gotenks was a mistake in my eyes, and I was very disappointed.
I think the tease at the end was worse than just having Fat Gotenks in the fight. actually seeing the actual fusion dance being done right and then not seeing what the fusion looks like.
Yeah.
I feel like that is more disappointing than him not actually fighting.
Because I mean, I've seen somebody on Twitter. They said that they released a frame and said, "Oh, this was the frame that wasn't put in the film," and it got a bit of traction. And it was a picture of Teen Gotenks, and I was just like, and it picked up traction, and it was like, it's clearly fake.
Yeah, it's probably fake.
And it's just basically a teenage version of Gogeta.
Yeah. Even if they did the fusion dance at the end where Pan's flying around proving that she can fly, you see Gotenks and you just see him like flex and then fly into the sky or whatever, and that's it. You see him for 2 seconds. I think that would have still even been enough.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone would have just been like, hey, there he is, and that would have been enough.
Yeah. But the fact that we see them do the dance successfully and then don't see him, like,
because the thing is, what if I know they've said that something is in the works, but what if that doesn't go through? Or we don't see a lot of Gotenks in general.
Yeah.
So what happens if in the new series we don't see Gotenks? Then we may never actually see this Teen Gotenks. So it could just be literally we see this non-fusion that actually happened. We may not actually ever see what he actually turns into, which would be
true. It's true.
So yes, that is my moment.
Your pick is the lack of Teen Gotenks.
Yeah, the mess. Yeah, fat Gotenks.
Yeah,
well, fat Gotenks and the lack of true Gotenks.
The lack of true Gotenks. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, my pick this week, because I knew that you equaled it out and you equaled the streak, and I thought, right, what do I need to do here?
You're going for a cheap win here, aren't you?
I am going for a cheap win. I am. I was thinking, what is disappointing? And the first thought I had, because I didn't even think of Gotenks, if I'm honest. The first thought I had was Max Cell, and I was thinking
that was my backup.
Yeah, I was thinking, do I just go with the easy one and go? The design of Max Cell was disappointing. Yeah, because we were talking about it last week, or maybe the episode before. I don't know. We've definitely talked about it a lot anyway. That we both dislike how Max Cell looks and how he's just second form Cell. So I was thinking, do I go with that? And I thought, no, I'll go with something else.
Hold on, can I just say, if that's not your choice, I'm scared to think what your actual first choice is.
I'm going for a cheap one.
I'm missing something here.
I'm going for a cheap
something
one.
Obvious.
Yeah, so there hasn't been any anime or films of Dragon Ball for 4 years. Broly was the last one, and then there was a 4-year gap between that and Superhero. And the most disappointing thing about Superhero is the fact that the two main characters, Goku and Vegeta, are only in the film for like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's so cheap.
Yep. We haven't seen anything Dragon Ball related for 4 years, and then the two main characters are only around for 10 minutes. We don't see them transform. We don't even see them do a full fight. We just see...
You don't even believe this take. I hate you so much. You do not believe anything you're saying right now.
Well,
don't even pretend you do.
Well, right, here's the thing. I am more than happy with the film. I actually really love Superhero, and I am fine with Goku and Vegeta not being in the film. Yeah? I'm fine with that. But also, is it disappointing that after 4 years we've only seen Goku and Vegeta for 10 minutes? Yeah, a bit. Is that the fault of the film? No, it's not the fault of the film. They could have done other stuff. If they brought the anime back and we seen Goku and Vegeta, I would have no problem. If they had another film in between and it wasn't so long, no problem. 4 years, no Goku and Vegeta, and then a tiny bit of them. That's disappointing. That's the most disappointing.
You don't believe anything of what you're saying right now.
I completely agree with this. I am fully confident in this pick, and I think it's gonna win.
Yes, it probably will. You're a scumbag, because you don't believe any of this current pick.
Well, the thing is, though,
you love Gohan.
I do.
Say, man, oh, I hate you so much.
I do, and I love this film, and I love the focus was on Piccolo especially, and Gohan. But we haven't seen Goku and Vegeta for 4 years, and then we see them for 10 minutes. Nothing about their forms, no more Ultra Instinct tease or anything, no more even Super Saiyan, I don't think. It was literally just base forms, a couple of punches, Vegeta gets the win in the post credits, and that's it.
I will be honest, I would have liked to have seen. I think there was. I would have actually liked to have seen. I mean, a lot of people were complaining about the runtime and things like that. I didn't have a problem with the runtime. I thought it did. It covered what it needed to cover. I don't think it dragged out. It dragged on or anything like that. I don't think it got cut down. I think if anything needed to be added, it would have added to the film in terms of those two. Well, I say those two, it could have been those three, as in Broly. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more than Broly. I know, because we know that Broly's struggling to manage his anger. It was very quickly covered by Goku. He basically just said, "You're still struggling. I'm not going to play with you. Vegeta, let's train." So I would have, and basically then we just saw Broly watching, getting frustrated that he can't get involved, and it's like, I would have liked to have maybe seen like a conversation between Broly and Whis or something like that. I thought that would have been quite cool. Just to hear maybe Whis talking to Broly about his anger, or Broly maybe saying like, "This is why I get angry," or something, like a bit of exposition about how he feels he can control it or something like. I think that would have been quite cool, and it wouldn't have taken too much, I don't think.
No, it wouldn't have. And here's the thing: if/when they redo this for the anime, if they bring this back around, whenever that may be, we discussed it last week. Are they going to go through the films first? Are they going to go through the manga? Probably the film route. But when they redo this film for anime purposes, this will be fleshed out more. 100%. They're not going to avoid it. There's going to be, when this superhero film is done in the anime, they are 100% going to have a lot more filler in between the film, Within that space, there's going to be a lot of stuff on Beerus's planet, which could take up a full episode or 2 episodes, explain everything going on there. And, they're going to explain more in depth. They're going to have the reasons for why they're on Beerus's planet. They're going to do more training, that type of thing. You're going to see a lot more of everyone. And I think it will be done a lot better in the anime when they redo it, if they do the same thing as they did for Resurrection F and Battle of Gods, which I believe they will.
Yeah. And that's the exact type of filler I want in my show. Literally, like, there's filler, and then there's little filler where they're talking about the characters, and I'm actually finding out things about my characters. Like, there's the Copy Vegeta arc where I'm learning nothing, and it's generic, terrible villains, and it's just awfulness, and I hate everything about it. And then there's something where I'm learning something about a new character, such as Broly, who is got this real issue, and he's learning to control it. And it's like, I could literally sit and listen and hear him talk about that and learn something new from Whis and stuff. Like, I would sit and listen to that, and I would be honest, with not have a fight in that episode and learn about like the exposition behind that, I would be cool with that. I would be cool with an entire episode of that. I'm quite happy with that. My Dragon Ball doesn't have to be all fights. I'm totally fine with that. I mean, that's the type of viewer I am. I mean, obviously there are a lot of people who do like just the fights in Dragon Ball, but each to their own. But I'm very much there for the characters as well. And a lot of what I want to know about Broly is learning to control it, not just him rage stomping everybody, because that is going to be the fighter that he's going to be. Because when he fights, he is going to be a savage fighter. He's never going to be a technical fighter. That's just not who Broly is. If they make Broly a technical fighter, it's going to take away his identity, and no one's going to be interested in him. Like, he's always going to be just kicking off being this big, huge, legendary, bulky Super Saiyan. Roaring. He's always going to roar when he fights. But learning how he controls it and why he's that way is what I want to know first.
Exactly. Which is why, just because it's the film only, I have picked Goku and Vegeta not being around enough.
You're a bad human being.
And the reason you're saying that is because you know it's going to be voted for.
Yes, I do. The thing is, I know you don't believe it.
It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter what I believe. It doesn't matter what I believe. It's what I'm thinking right now in this moment. And yeah, I'm going for the win.
You are going for the win.
Yeah, I'm not letting you have the new record.
I will laugh so hard if I win.
The thing is, you still have a strong chance because I think a lot of people do like Gotenks for some reason. And yeah, a lot of people would have been teased from the
thing is,
not having them in there.
You know, I'm not a big Gotenks fan.
Hmm.
I don't really like Goten. I don't really like Trunks. I'm not a huge Gotenks fan. Gotenks does annoy me as a character. Like, he's screaming and he's arrogant, and but it's the fact that it would have been a brand new transformation. That's something we'd never seen before. And it's something they had a chance to introduce and to show us. And yes, whilst the image had leaked, there were a lot of people that hadn't seen that image. And that's something that a lot, and people do attempt to avoid spoilers. It is a thing.
Yeah.
I managed to avoid a lot of spoilers for Superhero before I saw it. I was quite impressed at how much I managed to avoid, I'll be honest. Because I know you failed massively.
Oh yeah, I didn't even try to avoid it though, to be honest. I wasn't actively searching for spoilers, but I wasn't trying to hide from it.
No, I managed quite well to avoid a lot before I saw it. And I know we managed to see it quite early on.
We did.
But no, I was quite happy with how much I managed to avoid. So I did get some surprises, and I think for the people who didn't see the leak, it could be something it would have been something quite new. And I think that's the thing. It's like you had these opportunities, and I think it was very much a wasted opportunity.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. And those are the two picks for this week's Hall of Fame. We have the disappointing fact that Teen Gotenks wasn't shown in the film. And we have the lack of Vegeta and Goku appearing in the film after 4 years of nothing. Those are the two picks. Only one can join the Hall of Fame next week. And you decide. So down below in the description box, there is links to our social medias. Go check them out, go vote on the polls, and next week we'll find out who enters the Hall of Fame. But for now, let's move on to the hot take.
Go.
Hot take.
So this is the hot take, the final segment of the podcast where I have searched online through the troll posts to find something interesting that could be considered a hot take about Dragon Ball. And this week, I have looked online and found one regarding the superhero film. So spoilers ahead, of course. But yes, this person has said, it's a short one, but they have said, if Gohan went back into the hyperbolic time chamber for one day, he'd solo everyone in the Dragon Ball universe. So yeah, of course, Gohan is very strong at this point. He is now Beast Gohan, or Son Gohan Beast, or however you want to say it. It is Beast Gohan. That's what the form name is. Gohan Blanco, you know, that type of thing. Yeah. If he went in the hyperbolic time chamber for one day, so 1 year, I guess, they think he would solo everyone.
I mean, he does seem to have the Frieza genes, doesn't he? Where it's like
minimal training, maximum output.
Yeah, I mean, he did it. He did it with the Tournament of Power. He was with nobody, and then how long did they have? Like a couple of days,
like 3 days, I think, to make the team.
And he was nothing, and then he trained and he fully unlocked Ultimate again, and he was totally full fighting shape again. So having a year, it's not an unreasonable argument.
See, I completely disagree, though. I don't think he would.
But the thing is, he's not He's completely. He has no martial training, really.
See, that's why I disagree, because for one, if he goes into the chamber alone, he has no sparring partner. He has no one to speak to, which is the most important thing here. He has no one to speak to. And I think that's the most important thing, because no one can make him angry. And because of this, since it is Beast Gohan, I still firmly believe that this isn't a form he's just going to be able to tap into. He's not just going to be able to train into this form. This is something I personally think is only going to happen where he's at his limit. You know, he has hit his peak anger and he bursts out into this beast form. And if he goes into the hyperbolic time chamber, yes, he'll train. Yes, he'll get stronger. I don't think he's going to master this new form while he's in there. I think that he will get stronger. His ultimate form will get stronger. But if he was in a fight situation, unless he gets really angry and turns into this form, then that form will be stronger. But he wouldn't have mastered it, you know. He will obviously be stronger in that form still, but will he beat, well, everyone? Still not sure on that one. I don't think so.
The thing is, he's very strong, but we discussed this last week. He's just very strong.
Yeah.
Like, we've covered this loads. Like, we have lots of technical fighters, and if you can't hit somebody, it's kind of redundant. And I keep going back to this Vegeta point. And it's like there was a very particular point in the Tournament of Power where Jiren's stronger than Vegeta, yeah, and he kept getting battered. Vegeta kept going back for more, and there was a point where Vegeta adapted to the point where he managed to get within Jiren's guard and get a hit off, and Jiren was incredibly surprised. Yeah. So Vegeta was up against a much stronger opponent, and he managed to adapt and get into his guard and hit him. Okay, so you're up against a stronger opponent, and if your lesser opponents imagine to adapt to you, there's not a lot you can do. Now, if you've then got an entire force going against you, such as people with Ultra Instinct and things like that, you're going to lose. You can't just be strong and win. And I think just having strength's just not enough.
Yeah, my argument was quite straightforward for why I don't think he would, and that is, let's just base him off the top fighters. So would he beat Jiren? Potentially. Let's face it, maybe he would. Would he beat Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku? I don't think so. But let's say he could. Would he beat Beerus? No. Let's face it, he wouldn't beat Beerus. But let's say he could. Would he beat Whis? No. No, he wouldn't.
Yeah. I suppose the argument was could beat anybody.
Yeah.
The angels are in perpetual Master Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, even if we didn't count them because they technically haven't had a fight shown, like if we don't count the people who haven't technically fought, you know, we haven't seen Whis in a proper fight, so let's not count him. We have seen Beerus though, and I think he's eligible to be involved in this conversation. And I don't think Gohan could beat Beerus.
No.
I don't think that's happening.
And I mean, the thing is, the saying can solo anybody. There are universes that were too strong to even be considered to be within the Tournament of Power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they were just too strong. And they have gods of destruction.
Yeah.
So not only are their universes too strong, they have gods of destruction that will obviously be stronger than the people who live within that universe. I think one of them is that big scary fish god of destruction. Like you're just forgetting about people that are just way too strong. I mean, I'm just going off the people within this universe alone.
Yeah.
I just
would Gohan beat Arale? Yes or no? Arale didn't even feel a thing against God Goku and Vegeta.
She punched the world in half.
Exactly. Yes. Gohan could not defeat Arale.
No, but I don't think she could. He. I don't think he could take down the Dragon Team alone.
Nah, well, the Dragon
Even after a
Team?
year of training.
Really? I think he could probably beat Vegeta.
No, I mean all is together.
Oh, together. Ah, yes. I think this was more like a one-on-one fight.
As one-on-ones, I don't think he could. One-on-ones, it depends on if these people are training at the same time.
Well,
Why
he
would
would have
they?
had a year, whereas they would have had one day.
Suppose.
Yeah. But I think he could probably beat everyone in Universe 7 apart from Goku. And, Beerus, definitely. Like, no matter what, even if people argue that Gohan is stronger than Gohan, even after a year of training, he's just not beating Beerus. I'm sorry, he's not.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying that people are catching up to Beerus because
I don't
he's
think
not
they
training.
are, though.
But I mean, there's not really any direct evidence, like to say we haven't seen Beerus go all out.
No, never. Imagine if Beerus went all out and then all of a sudden he's got buff form. Because, he's basically skin and bones. Imagine that. He powers up, buff, ripped. And it's like, oh, Beerus has went full power? Okay.
But there's saying anybody is just a silly argument.
Yeah.
If you would need to state what universes basically.
Yeah, like I doubt we can count the universes that we haven't seen from the Tournament of Power, but based on just the people we've seen, I mean, we can list a few people that I don't think you would beat.
I think could he beat Broly?
Yeah, potentially not.
I don't think he could beat Broly. Actually no, I definitely don't think he could beat Broly.
Yeah,
I see no reason why he could beat Broly.
I mean, with a year of training and in beast mode, potentially.
No,
but...
Gogeta's power ramp is disgusting. Like, yeah, Gohan gets stronger, but I know he gets a lot stronger, but I don't see him getting that much stronger to Gogeta level. Surely.
Nah, I don't think so either.
And Broly's power ramp seems almost endless. Would be nigh on endless.
Especially if he's trained as well.
Gogeta ended it quickly before he could ramp up much more.
Yeah.
I don't know if Gohan could. He would have to end it incredibly quickly before Broly could ramp up. If Broly managed to ramp up enough, Gohan would have to finish it very, very quickly.
Yeah. Would he be able to beat Hit if it was trying to kill him?
It would depend on speed.
Actually,
yeah, because it's would he manage? Because I think that's a martial thing, really. Goku was able to catch the time skip because of how he counted it. It wasn't speed; it was how he worked out how to catch it.
Yeah.
He took the hits. No pun intended. He took the hits until he worked out how to catch them. In Champions Tournament.
Yeah, and this was when Hit wasn't trying to kill. He was just trying to do some damage, not enough to kill. If Hit was trying to go for the kill and blow straight away, I think, he probably would.
Gohan wouldn't understand how to fight against the time skip. Yeah, and train all you like, you get punched in the heart or whatever, you're dead.
Especially being on your own inside the time chamber as well. You've got no sparring partners. You've got no techniques to try and counter anything. You've got no damage coming to you. It's just you training.
I think even if he had a training partner, it would be useless against Hit.
Yeah.
Hit isn't an opponent you can train against. Even if he knew Hit was coming, I don't think it would be enough. Even if he squared off against him and said, "Look, I'm about to fight you," you can't really like Dispo. The only reason Dispo was able to fight against him was because he had a direct counter, which was obviously his hearing. Like, it's not a speed thing, it's you learn to fight against it through. Goku had years of martial training to be able to work it out, but he had to take some hits first, and he couldn't be killed. He wasn't allowed to be killed.
Yeah.
Like Gohan wouldn't have had these protections.
I can't wait for people to argue saying that it's weak. Gohan with body hit one shot. Like, you're underestimating hit there just a little bit.
But the thing is, it's not a speed thing. He literally steps into a pocket dimension.
Exactly, yeah.
He doesn't just move fast. It's like it's a literal pocket dimension. He moves out of our dimension. Like he's not just fast. Like that's how he was able to control Jiren. He puts him in a time prison. Like obviously Jiren's just Jiren. But the thing is, like, he wouldn't have to do that with Gohan because he could just literally kill him. He doesn't have to control Gohan. He can just kill him.
I mean, again, Jiren wasn't going for kills either. I'm pretty sure he, if he wanted to, would be able to kill the majority of people in the tournament with power. So again, if Jiren was going all out, I'm sure, he would put up a good fight. Like, I think on this list, like we've just mentioned, Jiren is surprisingly maybe the easiest target for Gohan. But Macedora and Sengoku, Hit, Beerus, those three especially, and Broly, 4 people right there.
Yeah.
Those 4.
I think Gohan would have to, if Gohan could end it before Broly could damage Ramp. If he could end it quickly, if he didn't end it quickly, Broly would be a problem for him.
Well, that's the thing. Of course, Gohan would need to turn into beast mode, which he would need to get angry for as well. So,
the thing is, that's the thing we've mentioned a few times is how does he turn it on?
Yeah.
Like, does he have control of it? We've said this with Orange Piccolo. We know Orange Piccolo was going to be able to manage it because he was given it by Shenron. Like, he has a way to control it, and he's going to keep mastering it because he's going to keep training.
Yeah.
Whereas we don't know if Gohan's not going to be. He's going to go learn about bugs still because that's who he is. So he's like, if he goes into the hyperbolic time chamber, is he going to be able to turn it back on? We don't know.
Maybe, unless he turns into like the Hulk and can just turn on his anger. Like that year he spends in there is just to be able to get really angry at a moment's notice.
Yeah, that's his trick. He's always angry.
But
that's great control of it.
Even if that was the case, then he could just turn into beast mode. Yeah, I think our arguments were based on him being in beast mode anyway, so it still doesn't make much difference.
I think that Hit would be the biggest problem for him.
Yeah. Or Beerus. Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely. I think anybody that basically outmartials him or has some type of direct technique to deal with him.
Yeah. No, I think we're both in agreement there. So, yeah, we both disagree with this take. And I am curious, though, what people think about this because, we're known for some controversial opinions every now and again. And especially about Orange Piccolo, it seems. But, I want to know how people think. Do they think Gohan could body everyone? Because we definitely don't think so. So leave some comments down below and tell us what you think. But anyway, that's going to be it for this podcast. Let's wrap it up there. So it's been a fun one. Talk about a lot of different stuff. So if you have enjoyed it, please like it up. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. Leave some comments about all the different things we've talked about. And go vote in the poll for the Hall of Fame. And other than that, we will see you all next time.
Yeah.